Question about that using psilocybin and mushrooms. Is it possible, and I'm just asking because we're talking, is it possible for someone who was addicted to a drug like heroin to use that and get them off, to wean them off of it?
There's plenty of evidence that this has been tried and shown in clinical trials that it's very, very potent. It's one of the most potent things to get people off hard drugs like this.
Okay.
I mean, look at the work of Gabor Mate in Canada, for example. He went with people to the jungle and then they never touched heroin again, many of them. Like hardcore drugs, you know.
I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of research now and it's very powerful. I stopped drinking alcohol 4 years ago, basically, you know,
Mm,
altogether. I just don't drink anymore.
no drinking at all.
Nope.
Here and there, I have a beer or some wine. I'm not a big drinker though. I'll go out if I'm in a social setting or I'm visiting a bar and I want to watch the games. I'll have some beer or some wine.
Yeah.
But I don't indulge too much because of the way it makes me feel, and I can feel my body going, "No, we've had enough of this right here."
But that's awesome that you're aware like this, you know.
Hmm.
Many people are not. Like, I would not be able to stop really after two or so beers, you know, that'd be really difficult for me. And it runs in my German lineage, you know. We're not doing well with alcohol.
Okay.
It's a problem.
Yeah, for me, it's like that second drink or that third drink. My body starts to go, "All right, you've had enough of this stuff. Put some water in it, and we pack it up. Like we got to figure out something else." So
That's great. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Now, cannabis, I would definitely prefer cannabis because I get clarity. I'm able to use my creative side a lot better, or it allows me the peace to calm down and be more introspective when I'm alone. So I'm definitely more aware and more of a believer in the helps of cannabis. I've also seen how cannabis has been able to help people who were addicted to hard drugs. I've seen people who were able to wean themselves off of heroin by using certain indicas because they're so strong, and
Mhm.
it's changed their life, and they went from being uh, doped out and hurt to being functioning citizens in society. So it's beautiful to see that you can use these plants or these mushrooms or ayahuasca, and they can help change people's lives. And I believe that there should be more attention paid to that. And maybe they are doing it. They're just trying to figure a way to regulate it so that they can, of course, capitalize on it. But the science of it all and the humanity of it all is something that I really do think that should be looked into more and more everywhere.
Yeah. I know there's huge potential. I mean, the problem is that since 1970 or so, Nixon administration declared the war on drugs, which
Hmm.
was kind of a thinly veiled, you know, racist kind of thing, basically. And so that's why we're still suffering from this, you know. And this only, if you look at the history, it's really interesting how psychedelics have been suppressed. I mean, just look at the early Christianity, you know, the first 150 to 300 years when Christianity became from a psychedelic sect, it went into a state religion within 300 years or so. And during that time, the psychedelics went out the window and became a power game, essentially.
It did, and it's crazy. And I'm glad that you said that because here you're talking about a bunch of guys who were sitting around doing drugs, writing scriptures, and coming up with plays and all type of stuff. And it went from that to let's become driven by power and control and things of that nature. So I
Absolutely.
it's crazy how that the what you call it, the Council of Constantinople and all these different things that they had so they could come into control, the Council of Nicaea and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's crazy how these things took place and how they turned around the history. Even what you said about the administrations, Nixon and those guys calling it marijuana when it was just a plant. Like it's been here for 9, 10, 11,000 years, and now they're trying to all of a sudden make it seem like, oh yeah, it's good now, but it was always good. There was never anything wrong with the plant. You've seen
Right.
people
Exactly.
use you've seen people use hemp for clothes, for shoes, not just for
Mhm.
smoking. There were so many available resources using hemp. You could also use it. At one point, they were using it to wrap mummies.
Yeah.
And they act
Mhm.
like these were things that had never been done. So I'm all for it. I'm with you guys on that, man. Any way I can be of support and talk about it or share or post a video or anything that could help, let me know. I would definitely like to do that.
You.